Hi all, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's session, we will be discussing about execution of first shell script. Now, let us try to execute our first shell script with the following example defined on the right side of the slide. So here, I have mentioned 4 steps for creation and execution of shell script file. So initially, on the first step, we have the creation of a script. So I'm currently using vi shell command in order to create an shell script file. So vi is an editor of an shell which allows you to create a new file and edit the contents in a file. So I'm creating an shell script file with the name myfirstscript.sh. Here my first script is an file name and .sh is an shell script extension. So on the second point, I'm using shebang in script. So what is shebang? So whenever you try to create a shell script, so you will define a shebang along with an interpreter path on the first line of an every script. So here this hash and exclamatory represents an shebang. So in an shell script terminology, this hash represents hash and this exclamatory represents bang. Hence this collection is known as hash bang or shebang. So this bin and bash represents the which type of interpreter is required for an operating system in order to execute this shell script. So that's what this defines. So I'm currently using bash. Bash is an born again shell. So I'm using this bash as an interpreter which is available in this bin path. Hence, I have defined a shebang along with interpreter path in order to execute this shell script in this Ubuntu operating system. So as I informed before, I will be currently using an Ubuntu operating system and hence I'm defining the shebang in my first line of each and every script. So here I will be passing a shell command which is known as echo, where I'm defining a string which is hey there, welcome to my YouTube channel. So I want to print this particular string. So for that purpose I am using this echo command. So echo is an output statement which is used to print the given string. So on the third step, make the script file executable. So the newly created script file has some shell command. So I want to execute this. So for that purpose, I want to give some permissions for its execution. For that purpose, I am using chmod plus x myfirstscript.sh. So here chmod represents change mode plus x represents adding execution property to file myfirstscript.sh. So this what the explanation of this command. So where initially whichever the file we try to create on any of the Linux operating system, initially it will be having only read-write access. So in order to make it executable, I will be defining an execution property for that particular file, whichever I want to execute. So that's the reason I'm changing its mode with existing read and write. I'm adding an additional property which is execution property into this file, which is myfirstscript.sh. So after providing an permission, you need to run the script. So in order to run that script, I will be using // and the script file which I want to run. So // represents a present working directory. So you need to make sure that the following file which you want to execute should be available in the present working directory. So once after the confirmation on whether you are on the present working directory where exactly the script file exists, then you can run the following command, which is // and a file name .sh. Here, so in my case, my file name is myfirstscript.sh, where I have passed few shell commands into it and I want to run that with the help of this command, which is // myfirstscript.sh. So I will be executing all these 4 steps on my Ubuntu Linux machine. So you will come to know the clear picture how exactly I will be creating an shell script file and how I will be passing the commands and how I will provide a permissions to an file. Then finally how I will try to run the script. So now let us move on to our Ubuntu Linux machine and try to execute this example. So let me list out what are all the contents I have on my Linux machine. So you could able to make use of ls command in order to list out all the files as well as folders. So currently I don't have any of the files or folders. So in order to view the working directory, you could able to make use of pwd. So these are the basic shell commands which you need to be aware before learning the shell scripting. So my present working directory is /home/lns. So now I will try to create a new directory with the help of mkdir I shell scripts. With the help of ls command, I could able to list out the newly created a directory, which is my shell scripts. So I will just get into that directory, and thereafter I will be creating a file. So now I'm in my shell scripts directory. So in order to view it, you could able to make use of pwd command. So as you see, now I am in the directory /home/lns/my shell scripts. So here I will try to create a new file as per the slide which I have defined. So with the help of VI editor, I will try to create my first script. My first script.sh. So now I am in the VI editor. So once this VI editor is open, when you try to add some contents, you could not able to add any of the contents initially. You need to give an insert command so that an interpreter or an VI editor will understand you will be adding some contents into the file. For that purpose, you need to click on I button, and then the VI editor will allow you to add some contents into it. So initially, as per the example, I will be creating the shebang along with the interpreter directory and type of shell #bang bin/bash. So this is my first shebang line along with the interpreter path and type of interpreter for an operating system. Now I will try to pass an echo command where I will be defining, hey there, welcome to my YouTube channel. So this is my echo command. Now I will try to save it. Once if you are done with adding the contents into an VI editor, you need to click on escape in order to terminate the insert operation. And finally, in order to save this file, you could click on colon and X, then enter. That's it. So in order to view the contents, you could able to make use of cat command, cat my first script.sh. So here I have mentioned the shebang along with the shell and its directory. So I'm passing an echo command where, hey there, welcome to my YouTube channel is my given input string. So I want to print this with the help of this echo shell command. Now, if you try to list out the files in this directory, you could able to find out my first script.sh is a file which is available in my shell script directory. So now I will try to run this script before giving the permissions. So let us see what error I could able to encounter. So when you look back into slide, so I will be skipping up the third point and I will be directly jumping into the fourth point which I will be running the script. So for that thing, I'm currently in my present working directory where my first script.sh exists, and I'm using / and my first script.sh. So when you try to run this script, you will encounter an permission denied error because this file doesn't have suitable rights in order to execute. How can you cross check that? So when you use ls command, you will list out files which is available in this directory. When you use ll command, you will get a list of all the hidden files along with the files with their mode of access. In here, my first script.sh is my file name which is existing in my shell script directory where I have only read and write access. This file doesn't have execution access. Execution is nothing but a run access. So for that thing, I mentioned the third point where I will be providing an permission, execution permission to my file. So with the help of this command, I will try to pass an execution property for this file. Then we can try to run this script. So for that thing, I will use chmod +x my first script.sh. So once if I pass this execution property into this file, you could able to view the changes in the file. So now you got rwx. So for this file, you got an execution property where you could be able to try to execute the file now. So if I try to execute this file now, let us see what output I will be getting. I got an output as, "Hey there, welcome to my YouTube channel." So the following output was set as an input for echo command in order to print the current given string. So this is how you can create and execute the shell script on any of the Linux operating system. So that's all about execution of our first shell script. And if you like my video, please kindly share and subscribe. Thank you.